Hi, Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your March 2022 New Moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So now let's see what the tarot has to say. How will Libra be affected by the March 2022 new moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The top, our emotional self. And the right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the Ace of Pentacles and we have the Five of Wands. There can be a fight around money here, so just be aware of that we're being handed a gift from God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe. But there is this sense of, but I have to fight, but I have to fight to get what I earn, but I have to, fight for what is supposed to be mine. There's almost a sense of, this is too good to be true. I can't move forward this way. So just be aware of that we're kind of like pre-programmed to really want to ignore this gift or see this gift as being a trick almost. It moves us to our inner selves, which is the Queen of Swords and the Eight of Cups. The Queen of Swords represents us. We're represented by the swords in the in the minor arcana, and by Justice in the major arcana. So there's a real sense here of cutting through doubts and fears and negativity as we claim our throne, as we claim our voice. The Queen of Swords is also the most masculine of the queens, so we will be embracing, quote unquote, masculine behaviors during this time. The sense of focus, insight, determination, coming forward and really guiding us to where it is that we want to be. We're not going to be suffering fools well. We're going to be very determined and very much looking at a bigger picture. We then have the Eight of Cups. We're walking away from what we once thought we would love. This is an ending. This could be an ending as severe as a divorce. This could be a breakup. This could be, a changing jobs. This is going to be something that once we've come to the decision of it, it's kind of life-changing. Not kind of, it's life-changing. So it's powerful in that effect. It moves us then to the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Wands in our inner self. Just like at the root, we're being given a gift, and yet we're not seeing it because now we're worried. Here it's God, Source, Spirit. Again, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a healing, beautiful love, handing us the serenity of heart. And then we have the Nine of Swords coming in. And the Nine of Swords is worry, doubt, fear, chaos, being overwhelmed, and being way too much in our own heads that we're not even sleeping well. It's almost like we're sabotaging ourselves. Then it moves us to the King of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. In the public arena, we are coming across as the student. We are learning, we're developing, we're understanding, and then we have ourselves taking this gift with the Ace of Pentacles in the public arena as successful, as powerful, as determined, meaning that people aren't going to see the inward battle that we have because they're going to see the outward success, which is a nice thing, but it can also be an intense thing. So do be mindful of this. But we're also embracing our prosperity, what we want. We're looking looking at the bigger pictures of what we're planting in our lives and how we're moving forward in wealth and in abundance. It moves us to the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. And we have the Princess of Pentacles. Again, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, which is what the King of Pentacles, of course, represents. Here with the Princess of Pentacles, we have to be mindful of being a little bit too reckless with our money or immature with our money. It could be that feeling of, you know what, I'm always saving. Now I'm just going to do something extravagant for me. Or this can also be a feeling of somebody who doesn't have proper business sense coming in and giving us business advice. So do be mindful of this. This person wants to grow their wealth, but isn't necessarily in tune with the ebb and the flow of things, with how to grow that wealth. It moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. And we have two here. We have psychic development, the third eye chakra, which is what our singing bowl is tuned to. And we have the throat chakra here with truth. As we're developing this ability to really see and understand ourselves, what we want, what we're looking for within our lives, we then have truth being our greatest commodity. So truth is the sense of, I'm living in a way that, what I say is what I mean at this time. It doesn't mean that we don't change our minds, that we don't grow and evolve, but we're living in such a way where there's a balance of truth to us. There's a balance of passion and insight and emotion and understanding. And there's a beauty to us that comes from this truth, that comes from this acknowledgement of self and what we're developing within our lives. The psychic development, we are in tune with our world, with ourselves, with the energy of divinity around us, the universe around us. And that is going to be something that's very powerful and very useful during this time. Trust your instincts, Libra. They will help us to go very, very far, and they will be game changers for us as we move forward. Now let's talk about this moon for just a moment. This is the new moon in Pisces, and Pisces says here, meditate and contemplate. The new moon always brings a burst of energy, insight, and intuition, and it leads to emotional balance. So the new moon is really quite important. It's also a new cycle beginning. Now this new moon is very interesting because the new moon is right next to Jupiter during this time. So Jupiter is conjunct the sun is conjunct the moon. So there's really a lot of power here. Jupiter increases the power of the new moon because it resembles and it really helps feed into the sun's energy. Jupiter is all about growth. The sun is all about the giving of life. Now there's also this energy of passion and rebirth and love that is coming forward also during this time. What we have to be aware of is that we let that passion grow, that we let that love grow, and that passion doesn't turn into the more negative emotions that we can also be very passionate about: anger, hatred, those chaotic warlike tendencies within each individual. Now, what's also very interesting is that Neptune's going to come into play during this time and lead us towards our dreams, towards a greater sense of spirituality, towards really what our soul is wanting. And so the psychic development in our chakra energy is really guiding us towards our dreams and towards our inner voice, towards our discovery. Yet there is an unclear element during this time because there is the element of Lilith that comes in, which is also known as the black moon, that makes everything just a little bit murky. So we're going to have to be aware of that, and we're going to have to be aware that we've had Lilith come in before and just muddy up the waters, make things unclear. We could have thought, oh, I'm moving forward in this certainty, and then it's almost like we feel like things have just shifted and that certainty isn't there anymore. So just being aware of that as we move forward can be why we have this kind of reaction to the gifts that come forward. It's like, no, but I'm not clear about where I'm headed or what I want. And so that brings in the chaos. That brings in the argument. The Five of Wands is fighting for the sake of fighting. At our root, as we're getting this gift, as we're getting this prosperity, the energy of fighting for the sake of fighting comes into play. And it's almost like, no, I can't move to the next step, because the Ace of Pentacles moves us to the next step. It opens up doors for us. It shows us seeds to be planted within our lives and ways to really move us forward. And the the Five of Wands is chaos and being overwhelmed and being, held back and thinking, can I move forward to the place that I really want to be? And we have the chaos of everybody around us, our family, our work coming into play, holding us back. And also the chaos that we grew up in, that we've been fostered in for this time, this uncertainty, this sense of fight or flight. And it moves us to the Queen of Swords. There's going to be a point during this time, Libra, where it's like, you know what, enough is enough. I can fight forever, or I can take this gift and I can really embrace the assurity of myself and say, this is what I want. This is what I'm heading for. And I'm not handling it's handling, but it's also, I'm not diving into everybody else's nonsense. I just can't. I'm not doing this anymore. And so we cut through doubts and fears and negativity. We claim our voice, we claim ourselves, we claim our truth. And that's why, air sign energy can kind of get a bad rap because we're very blunt people. We will say things as we mean it and we'll think, why? I'm not lying. This is the truth as it's presenting to myself at this time. And that's the energy of the Queen of Swords really coming in. This sense of, this is what I need. This is what I'm going after. This is what I'm moving towards. And it brings us to the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is, I'm walking away from what I once thought I would love. Now, this could have happened before. This, again, could have been a traumatic event in our lives where it just shook our foundation. And we found ourselves walking away from a relationship we could have thought we would be in forever. For a job we could have thought we would be in forever, or at least for the time being. And yet, the rug was pulled out from underneath us. The Eight of Cups is, I need to leave in order to be with myself, in order to find myself, in order to embrace who I am and what I want. This can also very well not be in such a grand scale of, I need to leave, this relationship or this job, forever. It can be, I need a break. I need a break. I need to take a holiday. I need to, tell my partner, if I can, that, you know what, you need to get the kids because I need some time just to breathe. And that's going to be very important for us during this time. It can be that everything's running really smoothly and yet we just don't feel it inside. And we need to address that. We need to say, this is what I need right now. This is what is what my heart is desiring. And that becomes something that's very important for us because it moves us to this place of healing. It moves us to this place of, again, God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift of healing, beautiful love. And I love that there's this dove shadowing in the clouds. That means that peace is coming forward. We also have the water overflowing. So it can be that as we're embracing our hearts, things get emotional. We could have tears. We could feel, we could even feel ashamed for it. It's like, why should I be so upset? Things are going really well. And yet we need to acknowledge that. We need to acknowledge the emotions that we're having. We need to acknowledge the intensity that's moving us forward because what's happening here is divinity is cleansing away a lot of the hurt that we've been carrying for a really long time. And as that happens, we have the Nine of Swords. We have worry, doubt, fear. It's almost like we don't feel worthy of having a light heart. We don't feel worthy of, having things be so that we can breathe. And we're going to find new things to worry about. Spirit's saying, be very mindful of that here. The Nine of Swords is that hamster wheel of worry, doubt, fear, anxiety, that swallows us. And we all know people who live in that hamster wheel, who live in that energy. And Spirit's saying, don't let that be you, Libra, because there's so much beauty and so much prosperity here. Now, the kicker is in the public arena, we're taking that gift of prosperity at our root and we're being a student of the authority within our inner selves. And I love that we come through as a student in the public arena because it means our minds are open. It means that we're getting messages from Spirit, from people around us that are helping us to move forward, helping us to see things in a different way. And then the King of Pentacles is coming in and saying, this is my prosperity, this is my bounty, this is the kingdom that I have built, and I am honoring it, I am cherishing it as I am honoring and cherishing myself. And that becomes a game-changing time for us. There's such a sense of authority here, there's such a sense of power here, and yet there's also such a sense of having worked and fought so hard for this, that it'll be easy to go back to old kind of destructive behaviors that held us back and that kept us from moving forward the way that we wanted. Now, with the King of Pentacles, we're going to be making really good decisions when it comes, so what Spirit is saying here is like, Dane, don't say every decision that we make is going to be financially, a rock star. But when we look at things and we look at it with prudence, and we look at it and say, how are things all interconnected? This is going to be a time where we're changing the game, where prosperity is coming in and knowledge is leading us forward. So we do our homework and it pays off for us. We're students. I love being a student in the public arena because it means that we're looking at things in new and innovative ways. It means that we're not held back by the old way of having to do it or the old preconceived notions about things. We are stepping into a power. We are stepping into a beauty. We are stepping into an abundance that is purely and unbelievably us. It moves us to our subconscious. Actually, it moves us to our Luna message. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. At our root, we have here a time for healing, and it's the unexpected. The unexpected comes forward and it brings us to this time of healing, this time of connection. It brings us, and it's going to be like this unexpected thing. We're going to be like, oh, I have to fight this. It's like, no, let it come in. Let it bless us. It moves us to our subconscious inner self. And it says a blessing. Believe in the impossible, faith. Have faith and believe in the impossible, because this blessing is coming forward. It is empowering us. It moves us then to our emotional self, which is a new moon. A new start is coming right here. I love that. Boundaries. Make sure that we have clear boundaries. Make sure that we're, saying this is what's right for me and this is what isn't. It brings us then to our lunar public arena self. And it says, bring love into the situation, balance, because that love will balance everything. And as it balances everything, we find ourselves. We find that harmony, and the love guides us. It is like that beacon in the darkness. It moves us to our subconscious Luna message, which is, it's time for action. It's time to act. It's time to take action here. Extremes. But we have to be very mindful, there we go, of being pulled to the extremes during this time. Just like the gifts come in and then we have the chaos. We can very easily be pulled to extremes. We need to make sure that we're balanced and that we're centered. It moves us to our subconscious tarot message, which is another gift coming in, the Ace of Wands. God, Source, Spirit, again, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing us a gift of passion, of creativity, of insight. It's like the torch in the darkness. This is the light that leads us forward. This is the light that inspires. And we are going to be very inspired during this time. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of Gemini. So we have the Lovers coming forward. The Lovers represents Gemini in the major arcana. We need to be mindful of falling in lust and in mistaking it for love. All right. So there's an energy here that is like, it can be really enticing. It can be really beautiful. It's just going to be hollow. Be mindful of that. It moves us then into our subconscious chakra message, which is the I Am Presence, which is my absolute favorite card. And the I Am Presence is saying, what am I during this time in my life? I am strong. I am powerful. I am courageous. I am innovative. I am, cultivating what I want from my life. I am beautiful. I am, everything I need to be. But then do we also say, I'm struggling. I am overwhelmed. I am, not living up to my potential. My dreams are slipping away. I'm too old. I'm too, I'm not a go-getter enough. I'm too timid. What is coming forward that is holding us back? And people say, Dane, why do you say the negative as well as the positive? Because when people are saying the positive, I'm right there on that boat with them. I'm like, yes, that's me. That's me. But when they say the negative, and I'm being honest with myself, and not like, oh, who would ever think that? I also say, that's me. That insecurity, that doubt, that fear, that sense of what if it all just slips by? And the acknowledging of that and saying, that's not the energy I crown myself with. I do not wear a tarnished, blackened crown. One that has been put through the fire and not been cleaned, not been molded. My crown gets to be glorious. It gets to be golden. It gets to be beautiful and luscious and just shining in the light. And that's what we're moving towards here. And that's what gets to embrace us, Libra. All right, Libra. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity that is us during this new moon. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra, and may you have a blessed moon.